Good afternoon, Whidbey Presbyterian Church. Kendra is really nice to me. We went on vacation a few weeks ago and she bought me something for the trip. And it's something that I really enjoyed. Want to know what it is? It's this Lego bonsai tree. And I really like it on several different levels. I enjoyed Lego as a kid, and now I get to see my kids playing with it, and I'm enjoying it again, which is really cool. But more than that, it's a thing that is pretending to be a thing that's pretending to be something else. It's Lego, plastic bricks, pretending to be a bonsai tree, which is a plant pruned and trained to grow in such a way that it pretends to be a giant tree, but tiny. But then there's something else that the art of Lego and the art of bonsai have in common. Since they both invite the viewer into considering things much smaller than they ordinarily are, they help us gain new perspective and new understanding. Let's take bonsai for a second, just by itself. It's a really cool art form that ideally transports the viewer into another world. Did you know that traditionally bonsai is displayed a little bit higher than table height? It's closer to eye level. It invites the viewer to imagine being next to a tree. And traditionally, that offers the preferred emotional reaction to the art. That's really interesting to me. It's fascinating. Glimpsing into this alternative place, this alternative reality, helps us take a step back from our own ordinary reality and consider it a little bit more. Consider it in a new and maybe even a beautiful way. And I think you can interpret Lego in a very similar way, inviting the viewer into a different world, a different perspective on their own world. And so much of what we do in worship is attempting to do just that. I mean, like even the history of stained glass windows, they started as a means to get light into the church, but also filter that light into an otherworldly sort of feel to help us transcend to God's presence in some ways. Take communion, for example. On some level, it's just a bite of bread, right? And a little swig of grape juice. Pretty ordinary stuff. It's just a tiny tree or a few chunks of plastic that look like a tiny tree. But when we experience communion, we are invited into a different reality. We're invited to anticipate the heavenly banquet. We're invited into God's way of seeing the world. This is humbling stuff and beautiful stuff and transcendent stuff. We realize, ideally, in that moment, that we are better together, that we are made for one another, that when we gather in Christ's name, we are empowered and strengthened to meet the needs of the world. And maybe even bigger than that, you know? When we're invited into the way that God sees the world, our differences, our squabbles, our frustrations, our anxieties, even our fears, they all become so small. All of it seems that much further away. It brings it all into this new and healthier and even truer perspective. Anyway, until next time, peace be with you.